Rental arrears. Under the Residential Tenancies Act of the Northern Territory, a tenant must pay their rent in the manner specified in the tenancy agreement. This may be by cash or by electronic funds transfer. A tenant is not permitted to stop paying rent because the landlord fails to address any repair and maintenance issues. In order to not be in breach of a tenancy agreement, a tenant must always pay the rent due on time and in the agreed manner. If a tenant falls behind in their rent, the tenant will be in rental arrears. If a tenant is in rental arrears for at least 14 days, the landlord or their authorised representative may give the tenant a breach notice to remedy unpaid rent. This notice will give the tenant at least 7 days to rectify the breach. If the tenant fails to rectify the rental arrears within this time frame, the landlord may apply to the Northern Territory Civil and Administrative Tribunal, also known as NTCAT, for orders that the tenancy be terminated, compensation awarded, and vacant possession of the leased property be returned to the landlord. The landlord can only proceed on this basis if the application to the NTCAT is made within 14 days after the deadline set in the notice. Some of the tips a tenant can use include setting up an automatic regular payment into the bank account in which rent is required to be paid. If a tenant pays rent electronically, it will be important to account for electronic transfer time, which can be up to 2 days. For example, if a tenancy agreement states that rent is due every Wednesday by electronic transfer, then it needs to be transferred every Monday to ensure it reaches in time. If rent is required to be paid in cash, a tenant should ensure a receipt signed by the landlord is collected for each payment. If the landlord does not provide a receipt, the tenant should not part with the cash. A journal could also be made by a tenant in which the landlord is required to sign each time rent is paid. A tenant can also set rent payment reminders on their phone or computer to ensure payment is made in time. A tenant is able to gain free legal advice from the Darwin Community Legal Services Tenants Advice Service. Tenancy fact sheets can also be found on our website at www.dcls.org.au. Contact with our service can be made on telephone 08 89 82